Depression is more than just sadness. It's a deep emotional struggle that affects millions each year, often in silence. As psychiatrists and therapists, we see it daily in our practices. But we're also no strangers to it ourselves. In the United States alone, nearly 15 million adults experience depression in a single year, more than the combined cases of cancer, AIDS, and diabetes. This illness deserves our full attention, especially since suicide remains a leading cause of death among people aged 25 to 34, more common than homicide in that age group. The good news is that depression is treatable. But in order to treat it effectively, we must understand it fully biologically, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually. Depression distorts how people think, feel, behave, and function. It's not just about feeling sad. It can rob a person of their identity, joy, and connection to life. And often people are left wondering why it started and what to do next. Stressful life events can trigger depression, loss of a loved one. A job or a major move can shake the foundation of someone's life. There's also a biological component. The brain's communication system falters. Neurotransmitters, the chemicals that help nerve cells talk to each other, aren't working properly, affecting sleep, appetite, energy, and mood. At the same time, those suffering often feel isolated. They may want help but don't know where to turn or feel they can't afford it. The barriers, whether emotional, financial, or social, are real. Many avoid seeking help because they fear being labeled as weak. Some dismiss their symptoms, assuming it's something they should just push through. Others are overwhelmed by the idea of starting therapy or unsure where to even begin. But untreated depression doesn't fade away, it intensifies, sometimes leading to physical symptoms like headaches, stomach issues, and chronic pain. Major depression can manifest in many ways: persistent sadness, loss of interest in once loved activities, fatigue, low self-worth, difficulty concentrating, changes in sleep or appetite, and even thoughts of death. If these symptoms persist for more than 2 weeks, it's time to take action. Treatment isn't one size fits. Yes, medication may be needed, especially if there's a hormonal imbalance. But a holistic approach is crucial. Nutritional deficiencies, substance abuse, chronic stress, unresolved trauma, these all play a part and must be addressed. Every layer of a person's experience matters: physical, emotional, and spiritual. From a spiritual perspective, humans are more than flesh and bone. We are complex beings: body, mind, and spirit. When one part is hurting, the others feel it. Depression, at its core, is often tied to loss, not just the loss of a person or job, but the loss of God's presence, peace, and purpose. The Bible reveals that this brokenness stems from humanity's separation from God. Romans 3 speaks of an absence of God's Spirit. Ephesians 2 tells of the loss of shalom, or wholeness. Genesis reminds us that God created everything good, but that sin introduced pain, despair, and spiritual death into the world. This void, this ache we can't explain, is real, and the enemy's mission is to keep it unfilled. The lie whispered in depression is this: God doesn't care. You're unlovable. You're alone. But the truth is far different. Even the most faithful believers are not immune. Job, David, and Jeremiah all wrestled with deep despair. Jesus himself experienced crushing sorrow in the Garden of Gethsemane, facing both physical suffering and spiritual separation. So if you're struggling, know this: you're not alone, and your faith does not disqualify your pain. Depression is not a moral failure, it's a human condition. But you don't have to stay stuck in it. So what can we do? First, we must care for our biological and psychological needs. This includes medical treatment, therapy, rest, and proper nutrition. But we must also remember what Christ has done for us. That doesn't mean working harder, praying longer, or earning God's love. It means understanding deeply that we are loved already, that we are not forgotten, that we are not powerless. The Bible gives us hope. Colossians 1:27, we're reminded that Christ in us is the hope of glory. In Romans 8, we are told that nothing, no hardship, no darkness, no demon, can separate us from God's love. And in 2 Timothy 1-7, we are reassured that God has given us a spirit of power, love, and self-control, not fear or shame. You may feel broken, but your identity is not a broken person. Your identity is God's child. Depression may be what you're going through, but it's not who you are. If you're in a season of depression, don't walk through it alone. Just as no one performs surgery on themselves, no one should fight depression in isolation. You need a team: physicians, therapists, pastors, friends. And more than anything, you need to revive and nourish your spirit. Meet God again, or for the first time. If you're unsure whether you truly know Him, we'll help you find certainty. Here at Oak Health Foundation, we believe in treating the whole person, mind, body, and soul. Our counseling services are rooted in compassion, grounded in clinical expertise, and anchored in faith. If you're ready to begin your healing journey, we're here for you. Reach out today. You are not alone. If you found this message meaningful, consider subscribing to our newsletter or supporting our work. Your partnership helps us provide affordable, holistic care to those in need. Because no one should have to carry depression alone.